More in the spirit of Le Mans than ever, races this year all began with a Le Mans start. No more grid and no more grid girls. After a championship win last year by Toyota in LMP1, the early part of the season, with races in Silverstone and Spa-Francorchamps, saw a comeback in strength for the Audi team, with a win in Silverstone for Fassler, Lotterer and Trellier, as well as in Spa.
Some kind of pressure build-up inside the car. Oh, and a nice line from Sarrazin. Means he got on the power a little bit earlier than Markmo, down towards La Source, turn number 1 here. Now there is a car in the way, so that's not necessarily a terribly defensive line from Bonanormi, but the Toyota using the supercapacitor energy to try and boost up alongside. He's in the hole in the air made by the Audi. He goes to the left-hand side, down into La Source, into Rouge. Surely not, but he has. Wow, what a pass. That was remarkable confidence.
The curtain raiser for the Le Mans 24-hour race, despite tough competition from Porsche. Nico Hülkenberg, Earl Bamber and Nick Tandy celebrate an historic comeback for Porsche in LMP1. After Le Mans, Porsche also dictate proceedings in the next races.
Dart out to the right-hand side. He's going to try it now. Down the inside into turn 1. He's got the position, but Trellier will try and cut back because the Porsche's gone too deep. He has done. And here comes Di Grassi. He wants a piece of this side by side through turn 2. Got to give each other room, guys. Oh, that's naughty. There's a touch. We've got to get them through. Trellier is hanging on. And now he gets the right-hand corner. And here comes Di Grassi. Di Grassi's going to explode into this battle any second now. Marvellous stuff. Very, very fair driving by both of those guys. That is brilliant stuff. And Di Grassi is right there. Good. Thanks, guys. I'm right here. I'm here. Hello, hello. Can I have a play? Hartley well out ahead of this, and then the next 3 cars. Second, Di Grassi down into the Dunlop. He's gets it done straight away.
He's done him.
Absolutely straight away. Gets there, makes the pass. Remember, has a tyre advantage. The Audi has a tyre advantage over the Porsche. The leading Audi there, the second place car, pretty much in the same sort of tyre area as the Porsche, but the 8 car with half stint fresher. Now he must get past his teammates here and allow them to battle themselves in the incident between the 92 and the 71 Porsche versus Ferrari. Fred Makovic driving into the back of the Ferrari under full course yellow. The Vidal chicane was an action area all the way through the 6 hours. The Alpine going round there and bringing out some more cleanup. The full course yellow allowed everyone to pit in the categories GT Am was won by SMP Racing's Ferrari, winning the amateur class. In Pro, it was Porsche number 91, and in LMP2, it was the 47. The Americas, the 3.4 mile circuit, a perfect playground for these high-tech, high-speed, thoroughbred racing cars. And in the GT categories, Porsche's behind Aston Martins early on, but the Astons would fade. It would become a Porsche benefit. Ed Brown losing his brakes coming down to the final corner, hitting the inside curb, somehow managing to keep the car pretty much on the ground. The Tequila Patron ESM car in the wall, damaged and out the race. Good news that Ed was fine. Full course caution, that brought out no safety cars through the 6 hours, but plenty of side-by-side action in GTE Am. Porsche and Ferrari battling all day. Mike Conway getting a shock, trying to pass two of those GTE Am cars through turn 10, tipped into a spin from which he recovered masterfully. He wouldn't be quite so lucky later on. Again, GT cars ahead, coming out of turn 11. On the right-hand side, Michelin's on the curb, lost traction, and hit the Armco hard. That would be the end of the evening for the number 2 car.
Course yellow.
Toyota team seeing the bad news of the car coming back in component parts on the flatbed. Then drama for the 17 car, which had led for pretty much all of the race. A 1 minute stop and go penalty for an infringement after Mark Webber as well had missed his pit box. The 18 car in the lead, then into the pit box with issues. In GTE Am, SMP Racing and the Ferrari take it. In LMP GT Am, excuse me, LMP GT Pro, it was very close further back down the field as everyone was trying to make up positions. Alex Wirtz and Romain Dumas coming together in the Toyota and the Porsche respectively. The GTE battle was awesome as ever. Two Ferraris battling for the lead. Stuart Hall taking his opportunity to slip the Aston Martin through and pass them both and take the lead at that stage. The middle part of the race belonged to some fantastic driving from Mark Webber and Marcel Fessler. Fessler in the Audi refused to give up his position. The spot on the timing screen changing time and time again, and the two drivers showing supreme confidence not only in their machines and themselves, but also the cars that they were passing. The LMP2 battle was fast and furious too. The two cars at the very head of the field, KCMG, the 47 blue and silver car, and the G-Drive getting together several times, with first Roman Rusinov attacking the 47 car. And then coming down into the braking area for the Dunlop curve, Rusinov made his move but misjudged it. That brought out a full course yellow. Rusinov was able to get his pit stop done. Even the Porsche drivers thinking that was an interesting manoeuvre. Then the team car, Gustavo Jacobin, battling for a position, but at that point a lap down on the 47, getting in where he didn't need to be. Also further up the field, as the 7 Audi was trying to get its lap back, there was contact. Then Jacobin took out the 47 car in a pointless display of petulance that put the 47 car out of the championship lead and allowed his teammate to take the lead. Meantime, proper racing in GTE saw Porsche grab back a position right at the end. Patrick Dempsey and his team took their first victory, but in GTE Pro, it was the 51 defending champions who took the victory. A return to form for Jimmy Bruni and AF Corsa teammate Tony Vielander. But at the head of the field, there was never any doubt it would be Porsche. It just was going to be which one. And at the end, the 18 car had a small problem, allowing Timo Bernhard and the 17 crew to come through for their second consecutive victory and to lead the championship by a single point. Conditions and behind the safety car, and once they were released after 16 minutes, the two Porsches from the front row immediately went into battle with each other. Mark Leap down the inside of Brendan Hartley. Watch out for the #1 defending world champion Toyota, splitting the two Audis earlier on. The 7 car had already got ahead of the 8 by turn number 2. Little hip check from the 1 to the #8 as that pass was made. It was clear that the 18 car was having a little bit of trouble on that first lap, and he tried to let his teammate go through in the early part of the lap. As the #8 Audi went back into 4th position, the #7 was looking for something a little more, and there was contact between the Audi and the Porsche, leaving the Porsche at the back of the field after they'd all gone through. In LMP2, the drama started early as well. On the first lap, Nick Tandy going out backwards into the gravel trap. The Porsche factory driver in the KCMG car, the 47, a championship contending vehicle. Then the conditions took over. And no matter whether you were a prototype, a GT car, a Pro or an AM, things got very difficult indeed. Tyre choice, absolutely critical. And even with the right tyres on, it wasn't always easy to stay on the black stuff, as the Rebellion and one or two others found out. Even the local favourite, Kaz Nakajima, went for a wild ride at the end of the lap and ended up in the gravel trap. As the rain continued to fall, the battle between the two German marks certainly heated up at the front of the field. Audi's playing a very, very aggressive tactical game on tyres. The 7 car still in with a chance of the Drivers' Championship, although it looked as though the Manufacturers' Championship was going away and to their German rivals. The pace of the 2 cars at the head of the field was remarkable. Even in the bad conditions, 300 kilometres an hour down the 1.4 kilometre back straight. Audi and Porsche closely matched in very challenging conditions at Shanghai. Plenty of drama with back markers as well, because the 4 classes on track at the same time always provide interesting competition. But it was all won and lost in the pit lane. Audi went to the Michelin Intermediates early and also were the first to go to slick tyres. And that looked like it was going to pay off when Porsche, who stayed on the wet tyres longer, started to have issues with grip. Right at the end of the race, the Stracker and the 12 Rebellion finding things just a little bit too difficult, and the race almost having to finish under a full course yellow, but not quite. For the 17 squad, Mark Webber anchoring home Brendan Hartley and Timo Bernhard to make it 4 in a row for the 17, and they increase their lead in the Drivers' World Championship. Porsche win the Manufacturers. Here and the Bahrain International Circuit, and from the moment the lights went out, we were already seeing what the whole 6 hours were going to have in store for us, with Marcel Fesler trying a cheeky move down the inside, got into second for a moment, but Romain Dumas making sure he did what teammates should do and protect the championship leading car. It was a untidy start in LMP2 that saw Tom Dillman in the Alpine get pushed down from pole to 4th position. Audi's not quite having the pace of Porsche at the start, at least not the #7 car, which really needed to win this one to keep the pressure on for the Drivers' Championship. So through went the #8 and immediately closed in on Dumas and made the pass for 2nd position. Then it was a question of getting up the road and trying to catch Timo Bernhard. It's Ferrari versus Porsche in the GT Manufacturers' Championship stakes. And from almost the very start, as soon as the Porsche went through, they held the upper hand. Then drama for the championship leading 17, down to 3rd position with a throttle problem, 8.5 minutes lost in the pits, 4 laps down on the leaders. The Audis imperious in the lead till the #8 car had an issue with the Stuttgart firm right the way through the first half of the race. Again, small mistakes had big consequences, and when the 18 car got through into the lead, Neil Yarney made the best of it and pulled away. The Moran #43, Morgan, went around after a problem with their rear brakes. That was another full course yellow. This time that played into the hands of Porsche. They needed a pit stop. Audi had to follow them in. And then it was going to be a battle to the end of the race. In LMP2, G-Drive 26 and KCMG 47 have been the main protagonists all season. It was no different here in Bahrain at the final race of the season, as the lead changed time and time again and came down to a sprint to the finish between Sam Bird and Nick Tandy, the two pro drivers. But there was more drama in store at the front of the field, as Mark Webber had a recurrence of the throttle problem and then lost the front hybrid. It was going to be a very tense last hour of the race, as the engine cut out not once but twice on the championship leading car. In LMGTE AM, it was a return to form for Aston Martin that saw their 98 car win in category. In Pro, it was Fred McAvicky who brought home the 92 Porsche, a win for them and the Manufacturers' Championship for Porsche, with teammate in the 91 Richard Leeds taking the Drivers' Championship. A win at the head of the field was a brilliant end to the season for G-Drive, who take LMP2. And at the head of the field, it was the 18 Porsche that won, but 5th place for the 17 was enough to ensure the Porsche added the Drivers' World Championship to the Manufacturers' World Championship that they won earlier on in the season. Mark Webber never more delighted to come home 5th in his racing career.